Winter comes. The last stored nuts are gone. A child's stomach growls in the dark. Someone grabs a digging stick and heads out before sunrise, before anyone else wakes up hungrier. This was routine for most humans who ever lived. For every feast you picture, Stone Age hunters roasting a mammoth leg, there were far more days like this one. Days with no meat, no fruit, no guarantee of a meal by nightfall. So what did people actually eat when the hunt failed and nothing had ripened yet? In 2011, anthropologist Peter Unger and his colleagues examined the teeth of Paranthropus robustus, a hominin that lived in South Africa nearly 2 million years ago. The microscopic scratches on the enamel told a strange story. Most of the time, this species chewed soft leaves and fruit. But during certain seasons, the scratches changed completely, packed with deep pits from crunching nuts, seeds, and hard tubers. Unger called these fallback foods, meals eaten only when everything else runs out. Cave sites at Swartkrans and Sterkfontein preserved this pattern for over 1 million years. Neanderthals faced the same problem farther north, in far colder terrain. In 2011, anthropologist Amanda Henry examined dental plaque from Neanderthal remains at Shanidar Cave in Iraq and Spy Cave in Belgium. Trapped inside the hardened plaque were starch grains, from wild grasses, from water lily roots, even from cooked barley. Some of these Neanderthals lived on a near-frozen steppe. When meat ran low, they dug up roots, roasted them over coals, and ate whatever had survived the frost. Meat itself came with a hierarchy, and humans usually arrived last. At Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, archaeologist Henry Bunn studied animal bones dated to 1.8 million years old. Cut marks from stone tools sat directly on top of tooth marks left by lions and hyenas. Early humans were scavenging carcasses predators had already stripped clean. What remained was marrow, sealed inside thick leg bones that only a hammerstone could crack open. That fat-rich marrow may have kept entire groups alive through the leanest stretch of the year. By 23,000 years ago, people at Ohalo II, on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, had found a better strategy. Archaeologists recovered more than 90,000 plant remains, along with grinding stones coated in starch residue. Wild barley, wild wheat, acorns bitter with tannins. None of these were easy meals. Acorns needed hours of soaking and pounding just to turn safe enough to swallow. Grinding turned a poisonous fallback into flour, and flour meant survival past a failed harvest. Sometimes the fallback ran out too. In Gough's Cave, inside Cheddar Gorge, England, researcher Sylvia Bello analyzed human bones dated to roughly 14,700 years ago. The cut marks matched almost exactly the marks left on butchered deer and horse bones. Long bones had been snapped open the same way, for marrow. One skull had been shaped into a cup, the rim smoothed carefully by hand. Bello's team concluded this was no isolated outburst. It looked like a survival response, carried out with the same skill used on any carcass. Picture a lean season a few thousand years earlier. You wake with nothing stored, no fresh kill from the day before. You walk out before the frost lifts, scanning the ground for anything green. You dig for cattail roots along the riverbank, then peel bark from a birch tree, chewing the soft inner layer for its starch. If someone finds a carcass picked over by wolves, the group gathers around it anyway, cracking the bones for marrow. Nobody complains about the taste. Complaining is a luxury for people who already know dinner is coming. Bodies adapted to this rhythm too. In 1962, geneticist James Neal proposed humans evolved a thrifty metabolism, storing fat aggressively the moment food appeared, because famine could return at any time. Skeletons back this up. Bones from lean years carry Harris lines, faint marks left when nutrition stalls. Teeth from the same burials carry enamel hypoplasia, ridges that form when a child's body diverts energy from growth just to survive the month. None of this looked like 3 tidy meals a day. It looked like tubers one week, bone marrow the next, ground acorns when the wild wheat failed. The people who made it through those seasons were rarely the strongest hunters in camp. They were the ones willing to eat the bark, the bone, the bitter nut, whatever kept a body running until a real meal finally arrived.